ever made like those random prayers to heaven and you're like, I don't even know if God is gonna take this seriously, and he's probably seated in heaven writing them down like, all right girl, what do you need? Okay, what else do you need? Okay. So I've always wanted to be on the cover of a magazine. So one of these fine days I'm just seated and I'm thinking, Lord, I wouldn't mind being on the cover of a magazine, and my sweet Jesus, voila! I know right now it's upside down, but no worries. I'm gonna show it to you guys perfectly in just a minute. So this is what we will be talking about on this episode. Then later, you all can see my first reaction when I saw myself on the damn magazine. Quite interesting. My name is Cynthia Muiru and welcome to my channel. So in a few minutes, I'll be telling you all the tea about the magazine. What's the name of the magazine? Who does it put on the cover of it? What contents or segment does it have in it? What if you guys want to reach out to the magazine and be like, oh, hi, I loved your magazine. I'd like to be featured in it. Or be like, oh, hello, I have this product and I'd love it if you guys helped me market it. I'll be telling you all this and more in just a few minutes. But let's begin with, what is the name of this impeccable magazine? So the name of the magazine is Inquest Magazine. I will leave that name down here. That's the name of the magazine, Inquest Magazine. No worries, I'll show you guys perfectly in just a few. So the Inquest Magazine, it's a young, youthful, spicy magazine. Like, it's so interesting. The first time I read it was like a year ago and I was struck. I was baffled. I was like, damn, right? This is one of those copies. Once you're bored, you grab yourself one of this and you're gonna have such a good time. So yes, so the Inquest Magazine, it's a youthful magazine and it revolves and spins around the world of entertainment. And guess what? It covers pretty much everything, from fashion to blogging, cooking, photography, politics, entertainment, music, art, name it. Everything you want, you can find it all right here. I normally call it like a one-stop magazine in case you need anything. This is the exact copy that you need to have, the Inquest Magazine. Oh, and also the Inquest Magazine, it's a monthly publication. It comes out every single month: January, February, April, September, December. And so I was honored to be the cover person for the month of February. So it's a monthly publication, and I'll also leave a link on my description bar where you can find this magazine and also all the other magazines for like previous years. You can definitely read them and download them. And so now, I love the color of the magazine. I love the material that has been used to make the magazine. I love the pages in it. Like, it's very viable. Oh, and also if you want a hard copy, you can definitely get one, but most of them are soft copies, so you can definitely download it from the link that I'm gonna put on my description bar. And so before I continue, I want to let you guys know what they wrote, rather just a few things on what they wrote about me on the magazine and in the magazine. Like, manze tangu nipate hii cover nimekuwa tu nikicheki. Like, I wake up in the morning, I look at it before I go to work. I come from work, I've had a bad day, I just grab it and read it. So yes, so first and foremost, this is the cover page, and then they have this back, but I think it's pretty cute. What do you guys think? It's very, very cute. Anyway, yes, so it's written right here: youthful and concise, ambition, Muiru's channel. Cynthia Muiru intimates on her go-getter attitude towards her passions and YouTubing. So now, without further ado, let's get straight into the content of the magazine. So such an honor. Look at these people. Look at this. Look at this. So this is just one of the pages. Don't worry, I'm going to show you guys. I'll put all the pages on the screen so that you guys can be able to see it. So here they wrote Cynthia Muiru. By the way, let me tell you guys, the first time I ever read this copy, the English is so good. So good, like their English is impeccable. I mean, the people who edit this, let me actually read their names. The editor-in-chief is Fred Okoya. Managing editor is Zakis Ngoda. There's the styling editor, Vincent Odundo. There's Solomon Sisungo Quinta. There's Razik Aringo. There's Tina. Like, the English you guys have is impeccable. It's A game. Let me read just a few. So here they say, Cynthia Muiru, a content creator with a distinctive voice, notable fashion, and a go-getter attitude. Cynthia Muiru is a Gen Z. I was like, what? What? Gen Z? Because I was like, what the heavens is a Gen Z? You know, like, the English is really, really nice. I was so impressed. Like, hats off. Your English, guys, is perfecto. Yes, but now I want to get you guys straight to the interview page. Ta-da! Ta-da! No worries, I will put it perfectly on the screen so that you guys can read it as well. Man. Oh, and by the way, I have my reaction video when I first saw my magazine. I will also definitely put it right here. So before this video ends, you guys will be able to see it. And so I'm gonna read just a few things. So here is what Zach wrote. Muiru is a YouTuber, a vocalist, a voiceover artist with stints as a show host and a radio producer. She has featured in adverts and is way modest for her stature, as Inquest found out. You know, when people see me in person, they're like, oh my God, you're so petite. They're like, oh my goodness, you're too small to be doing the things you're doing. And I'm like, I mean, even the Bible says, do not let people despise you because you're young. Yeah. So now let me just read a few questions that I might find interesting for you guys. Some of the questions that they asked me on the magazine. I'll read one of them. The one thing that people would be surprised to know about you. So one thing that people would be surprised to know about me is that in as much as I'm a social person, in as much as I love people, I also really love my space. Like, I don't like visitors so much. I don't really have a problem, but I just like my space. I'm just like, I've just had a long day, just, but I like visitors, yes, but not so much. So I love my space. I also don't go to people's houses unless I have to and unless it's really urgent. Besides, with my kind of job, because like working in an airport and with the aviation industry, you meet a lot of passengers on a daily. So by the time I'm coming home, I just want peace. I just want space. So I'm not really too much into people as people think I am. And also, another thing that people don't know about me is that I pray for the many things I have. Like, can you imagine, like, even being on the cover of this magazine, I prayed for it. I pray for everything, my job, literally everything. So when people see me on social media and they're like, oh my God, she has money, or probably, or she comes from this part of the family, or maybe, oh my God, like, just people just have so many insinuations about me, and they just don't know that I pray for the things that I have. So yeah, that is one of the things, a few of the things that people don't know about me. Something else, maybe another question that might be interesting for you guys. Oh yes, your mother has had a great influence on you growing up. Absolutely. What is your biggest mother-daughter lesson? Let me just read it. Take care of yourself, for yourself, very important. She's also a classy woman, so I've learned a bit of fashion style from her, definitely. She's also taught me to be kind to everyone. Like, kindness is free. Kindness is, you don't have to pay to be kind. I mean, what do you lose by being kind to everybody? So yes, and maybe just the last person. What's the biggest surprise you've ever received? The biggest surprise that I've received this year is receiving a phone call to do a voiceover for a company in Sierra Leone. I was like, yes, Lord. I was like, I'm representing Kenya. Well, I'm really trying. So yes, that was one of the biggest surprises that I've received. And maybe just the last question is, what do you have on your bucket list? So he wrote, aside from visiting the Maldives, appearing on a billboard is yet to be checked, as well as hosting one big show on TV. Definitely, definitely. Those are some of the things on my bucket list. And there's just so much. I do not think I can read all the questions here and all the other things that they wrote about me. And it has many, many things, not just about me. Like it has cooking, it has fashion in it, it has where's the cooking? See? Pretty much everything. Food, you can find everything you need in this one copy. So now, what kind of people does it put on the cover of it? Or rather, if you want to be on the cover, how would you find yourself suitable for it? All right, listen, my darlings. If you are a youth, if you are a young person out there, and you are doing impeccable things, and you are doing nice things that people relate to, all right, let me break it down for you guys. For example, you are a young person, you are into the music industry, you are a musician, you are a poet, you are into art, you are into fashion, you are into radio, you're even into cooking, you are a photographer, you are a content creator, you are a vocalist, name it, you are a voiceover artist, whatever you're doing, as long as it's a good thing and people have actually realized, oh, by the way, kuna yu dem anafanya stuff, kuna yu chali anafanya hizi stuff, they actually definitely consider you to be part of their magazine. And also, if you are a young upcoming celebrity, honey, you are definitely a good fit for the cover and also to be featured in this magazine. And so what if you want to reach them and be like, oh, hi, you want to market a product, or maybe you've seen someone who's suitable to be on the cover of this magazine? How can you guys reach them? You can reach them at inquest.co.ke and also on the numbers below. I will also definitely leave a link on the description bar. And one interesting thing is, you know what? They can actually find you. My darling, if you are doing something nice, na watu wameanza kunotice kuna unafanya kitu poa, they actually find you. They're like, oh, hi, hello, we saw you doing something nice here and there, tuliona unafanya vitu poa on social media, tuliona unafanya vitu poa even in the community or something like that, and they'll be like, oh, we would like to feature you in our magazine. Quite interesting, you know. I like Inquest because it's not discriminative. It can only feature some kinds of people, or just politicians, or just entertainers, or just anybody. As long as you're doing something nice, it can definitely feature you in it. So now, what have I learned from being on the cover of a magazine? I think this is quite important, and so I just wanted to share it with you guys. One thing that I've learned from being placed or being covered and featured on a magazine is that people always notice. People always see what you do. Kuna kwanga tu na watu mahali, wanakwanga tu wameketi wanakucheki. There is always somebody seated somewhere looking at you, maybe even in secret, noticing the good things that you're doing. And you know what? Sometimes it can actually be even big companies. Unaona ututu vitu na postingi ututu vitu na postingi on social media, on YouTube, where not even WhatsApp status, there are people who are always watching what you're doing in a positive way. So do what you gotta do. Don't limit yourself just because atakama uko kampu. Don't just limit yourself into books, but at the same time don't neglect books. Even if you're working, what do you do during your free days? You don't just have to go clubbing all the time or partying all the time. Do something constructive with the little time that you get. But definitely one thing that stood out for me is that there's always somebody watching what you're doing, and they will always reach out and be like, hi, can we even just have a business you know, what was it called, like a deal together, you know, stuff like that. So it's very important that you know, do something with your life, like something nice. And also another thing that I also learned, it's very important for you to be very careful with what you post on social media, because there is nothing as good as a good name for you, or as a good reputation for you. What's the first thing that comes into mind when people hear your name? Maybe you're called Genevieve, or maybe you're called Frida, or maybe you're called Peace, or Glow, or Nzisa. What is the first thing that comes into mind? What if you're called Mark, or Brian? What's the first thing that comes into mind when people see your name or hear your name, or hear about you being spoken like in a group, it's very important for you to have a good reputation. Like a good name, it's like incense. You know what I'm saying? So those are definitely the lessons that stood out for me um, after being featured in this magazine. So now you guys can definitely watch my reaction when I first saw the cover of the magazine. I'm so good. What? Like you got me a whole page for myself. I love it. I'm so impressed right now. I'm like, I love it. Man, hats off. You've done a good job.
Thank you.
Let me see what you wrote about. And so that was my reaction when I first saw myself on the magazine. I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe this, just those two small dreams. But anyway, before I log out of this episode, allow me give my gratitude. Gracias, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup to all the editors and everybody managing editor, everybody from the Inquest team for having me and featuring me on your magazine. I truly do not take it for granted. And thank you so much for watching this episode. I know it was short but sweet, and I hope that you loved it. And actually, I have amazing content for you guys. I'm actually excited to bring it. Like, you guys, you better chill out. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a bang after a bang after a bang. And so yes, and until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated, keep your Jesus close, mind your business, and live your best life. And until next time, bye guys.